Shoot.
Holding Siman Tezayin Seif Gimel. Says the Mechaber, Kosher B'mina Nisayid, anything that's a type of animal that people capture, Chayiv Olav. That's the only time it's a Chayiv D'Oraisa. It has to be, it's a type of animal that people usually capture. Ein B'mina Nisayid, if it's a type of animal that people usually do not capture it, Pater Aval Aser is only an Isser Midirabbanan. That's not the Derech Tzeder. You're catching it, the Magen Avraham speaks out over here. Even if you are capturing it because you want it. We'll see later on in the Siman that when you capture an animal, you can either be capturing it because you want the animal, for whatever uses you have from the animal, you're capturing it for the use of the animal itself. And the other way of capturing an animal is just to get it away from you. So here the Magen Avraham is saying, if it's not b'minay nitzayid, even though you are capturing it because you want to use the animal, afilu tzadam l'tzayrich, even if you're capturing it for a reason, still, since it's not b'minay nitzayid, it's pater aval aser. Says the Mechaber Hilchach, therefore, zevuvim, flies, afapisha ein b'minay nitzayid, even though people don't capture flies, you don't need them. Also, let's say that midrabanan, it's an issue midrabanan now that I capture flies on Shabbos. Haggah says Ramah l'chenyes l'zar, you have to be careful. Shlaliskar tever, not to close a box, katana, a small one, or listam kelim, or to close vessels. Shezvuvim boy that have flies inside the Shabbos on Shabbos. To have a psikresha sheitzay dusham. That means you're closing the box for whatever reason you're closing it. The reason you're closing it, you want to cover something. It happens to be flies inside. The famous example they give is a garbage can. You want to just close the garbage can because you don't want it to smell. And it happens to be that there are flies inside the garbage can. Says the Ramah, you have to be careful not to close it because they have a psikresha sheitzay dusham. Even though you're einim eschavin, you're closing it because you don't want the smell. The halacha is, it's a psikresha, and therefore it is awesome. And even though it's a d'Rabbanan, still, psikresha b'd'Rabbanan is also seen in the Magen Avraham in the next Seif. So therefore you have to be careful not to close any box that has flies inside of it. Says the Ramah, v'yesh makilim b'mokam shem yipaseach hakli litla misham yavrichu. Some people are maker, which is the Torah, brings down a kula, that if you open up the box, they're going to fly away right away. So they're not considered captured. Because you close the box, you're right, you have flies inside the box. But you can't get to them. Why? Because the second you open the box, they're going to fly away. So you still don't have the flies. So the kula of the Torah, we'll see if everybody holds of it, it's a kula of the Torah that it's not called seder. Anything you capture and you can't hold it in your hand afterwards, then it's not called seder because you can't get to it.
Close the garbage can from this.
According to the V'yesh Makilim, we're going to pass it that way. The Ramah says V'yesh Makilim that it's mutter to close it since it's not called nitzayid. And we'll get more to this Makilim soon. But the Ramah says that if it's a tever katana, you shouldn't close it. It says the Magen Avraham, katana, a small one. But a big one, it's a big box, the Ramah holds in the Kula al Mashari. Everyone agrees that it's mutter. Why is a big box mutter? Because even if a person will be standing in the box together with the flies, he can't grab it b'chat shchiyah. He can't. We had before last week in Seif Aleph, there were different levels of tzeder. The Chomer the Ketzeda is that when you capture it now, you can get a b'chat shchiyah with one chase. You can get the animal. Here we're talking about a tever gedola. A tever gedola, a big box where you cannot get a b'chat shchiyah. Therefore, the Ramah says it's mutter.
Only according to the Yesh Makilin, or even if
no, even without the Yesh Makilin. Even without the Yesh Makilin, it's mutter by a tever gedola. The question is why.
So the example of the garbage can, would that be a big box?
No.
No?
Which depends on the type of garbage can you're talking about.
The city garbage can, whatever you have.
Oh yeah, the big city garbage cans maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, garbage bag that you have, you put
So the home, yeah, in the blue bins, those big bins, and the charam, yeah. But the small ones, maybe not.
It's not, it would be like this, right? It would be the...
Yeah, a big garbage can, the ones you have outside, the takabir, teva gedola. And it should be mutter.
In all of these situations, is the Isser only if you actually see flies in?
Yeah, we'll get to it soon. Perhaps we're talking about you see there's a fly there. You know there's a fly there.
Because
Even though you cannot capture it.
You could assume that every garbage can has flies,
No,
right?
no, we'll see soon. So we'll see soon.
Okay.
We'll see soon. We're talking about for now.
No,
Avadai.
you cannot catch them.
Right. But now we're talking about Avadai. We'll get to Suffolk in a second. Now we're talking about it's a Avadai, there's a fly inside. If it's a teva gedola, you're allowed to close it. A teva katana, a small box, you're not allowed to close it. Now, why by teva gedola is a mutter? We said in Sif Aleph that if you capture an animal in a place where you cannot capture b'chad shchiyah, in a place where you can't capture at one time, it's Issa D'Rabbanan. It's not mutter. Right? In Sif Aleph we had ain't nitzed by potter avalasa. Because you can't get a b'chad shchiyah, it's still potter avalasa. Here the Magen Avram says if you trap it in a big box, it's mutter. Why is it mutter? So if you look in the Sharet Tzion over here, look in the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Tezvav. The Mishnah Berurah says teva katana, aval teva gedola, sfir leil ramad lekula al musari. Everyone agrees that it's mutter. Why? Ta'afilu im haya adam oimid b'toicha l'hayachal l'toivsa b'chad shchiyah. If a person will be inside the box, he can't grab it with one chase. V'gam hu davar she'ein b'minay nitzayid. So he adds on. He says, why is it mutter over here? It's a D'Rabbanan, we're not matter of D'Rabbanan. Says the Mishnah Berurah over here, why is the Mekel by Teva Gedola? Because first of all, you can't get a B'chad Shechir, so it's a D'Rabbanan. What's the second D'Rabbanan? Ein B'minay Nitzayid. So since it's Ein B'minay Nitzayid, so now you have two D'Rabbanans. So, by two D'Rabbanans or Mekel on Shabbos, also not. Still we have the Kasha. Anytime you have something that's two D'Rabbanans, you're allowed to do it on Shabbos? Of course not. So we still have the same kasha. Why is it mutter over here? So the Sharet Tzion adds on. The Sharet Tzion, Sif Katan Yud Ches, says, Rotza loymar, Mishum tehave shrei d'Rabbanan, since it's a double d'Rabbanan, Mishum hachi mutter be'einoi mechaven. Ha'einoi mechaven is mutter, afal gaf tehave p'sik reisha. So you have over here that the Sharet Tzion explains why is it mutter over here. You're allowed to close the garbage can. It's a trade d'Rabbanan. Ein b'minay nitzayid, and they can't get it b'chad shchiyah. If it's a big garbage can, it's trade d'Rabbanan, not mekel. Since it's ein miskaven, you don't have a mind to catch the flies. You don't need the flies. Therefore, it's mutter. A p'sik reisha by trade d'Rabbanan, he'll be mekel. Now, we spoke about a p'sik reisha by d'Rabbanan, the whole Siman Yudalad, the whole shaila about it. A p'sik reisha by d'Rabbanan, we're machmer. The Trumas Hadeshin that's mekel, the Magen Avram, the Taz, come out the Chumrah. We'll see again in the Magen Avram in the next Sif. That's a chad d'Rabbanan. By trade d'Rabbanan, it seems like over here, even though it's a p'sik reisha, we're matter. Now, we're not going to be matter a trade d'Rabbanan where it's not a p'sik reisha. If you have a case, someone wants to do a trade d'Rabbanan and he wants to capture the fly. Now he wants the outcome. That everyone agrees is not matter trade d'Rabbanan. You want to do something on Shabbos. You need a light turned on. So you do a trade d'Rabbanan. Of course, there's no heter for it. There's no heter by trade d'Rabbanan if you want what you're trying to accomplish. Here, the heter is because it's einim eschaven. Einim eschaven, but it's a p'sik reisha. They will make it by trade d'Rabbanan.
Did you say this is a general klal?
General klal on Shabbos. But it's so complicated, the general klal, because if you look in Shin Lamed Zayin, the Sharet Tzion in the beginning, he throws in a word. That's why when it comes time to p'sik reishas and d'Rabbanan, to trade d'Rabbanans, you always have to ask a shayla. If you look in Shin Tezayim, Shin Lamed Zayin, sorry, Shin Lamed Zayin. Shin Lamed Zayin, the Shar HaTzion, are his base. He's talking about using a broom on Shabbos, they end up breaking the bristles of the broom. So I'm not going to go through the whole Shar HaTzion, it's a long Shar HaTzion here, but if you look in the Shar HaTzion, Sif Cotton Bays, like 3 lines down, in the middle of the line, it says, Umavur le'el b'simen Shin Tezayin Sif Gimel B'Hagah. See it? Middle of the Shar HaTzion, it's like halfway through. Umavur le'el b'simen Shin Tezayin. See it? Very important Shar HaTzion to remember.
Yeah.
To have a Umavur le'el b'simen Shin Tezayin Sif Gimel B'Hagah. The Dasa Ramosham Muchach, the Svirulei Ba'alma the Mutrei the Rabbanon Mutta B'Psikresha to Lichalei. He adds in 3 words here. It doesn't say regular Psikresha. It's a Psikresha to Lichalei. So be a Psikresha that you happen to enjoy the outcome and want the outcome also, it will be a problem. So you have to add on Lichalei. So now, why is it mutter over here? It's a Tevik Gedoyla. So it's really, you can't get B'chad Shchiyah to this of the Rabbanon, Ein B'minah Nitzayt, and it's a Psikresha D'loi Nichalei. Therefore, Mekel over here, you're allowed to close it by a Tevik Gedoyla. It's good to remember that Shar HaTzion over there.
What's the trade Rabbanon here, in this case?
Ein B'minah Nitzayt, and it's a Tevik Gedoyla. You can't get a B'chad Shchiyah.
So we were talking this more like how you look at, let's say for example, the whole machlok is whether if you have kavanah or not kavanah.
Yeah.
In the trapping, right? So.
Which machlok is?
The Gemara. The Gemara discusses machlok is whether kavanah has to be a part of it. So the Magen Avraham says even if you don't have kavanah.
What do you mean? Wait.
The Magen Avraham says even if you have kavanah, we don't.
I thought it's Tzadul.
Right, even l'tzarech.
Yeah.
Correct. So would that also be a level of another drabana? Or in other words.
Yeah, Ein B'minah Nitzayt. Yeah, that's a drabana.
Ein B'minah Nitzayt. But now you would say Ein B'minah Nitzayt, right?
If you're doing it l'tzarech, that means you want it.
Correct, but I don't want it now. So l'chara, that would also be a.
Yeah, if you don't want it,
another drabana.
Like Nichalei. No, it's not another Rabbanon. Whether you want it or not, it's the same Rabbanon. Whether you want it or not, if it's Ein B'minah Nitzayt, it's the same Rabbanon.
Okay, that's how we're learning. Okay,
yeah, Ein B'minah Nitzayt.
That could be another level.
Right, it's not a level. No, but Ein B'minah Nitzayt, you want it. Ein B'minah Nitzayt, you don't want it.
Same thing.
Same level.
Okay, so that's the Kiddush of Magen Avraham.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's not Rabbanon.
But otherwise, you could see that could be
another
level.
It's not another level.
So Ein Nitzayt, and the other one is. So it's
not Chad Shchiyah, it's a big place.
Because it's big.
Teva Gedoyla. It's a small Teva, you can't do it. So you have a Shrei D'Rabbanan, and it's a Psikresha D'loi Nichalei. So therefore, Mekel over here. Okay, V'yesh Makilin, let's see the next Magen Avraham. What's the Yesh Makilin? After Tur Kosa V'Kiveres, Ktana, the Aser, a small Kiveres, which is with our bees, he says it's Aser. Now obviously from the Magen Avraham, we see that bees are not called B'minah Nitzayt. Because otherwise we wouldn't have a kasher. Right, what's he asking? By Kiveres, you're covering it, the bees inside, and we answer it.
We are not capturing, we are just chasing.
No, you're capturing, you're covering it. You're covering a Kiveres Katana. We'll see in the next Seif, it's awesome. Now what's this kasha? What do you mean? Kiveres is B'minah Nitzayt. Maybe the Torah is Mekel by Zvuvim, which is not B'minah Nitzayt. You see the Magen Avraham learns.
Kiveres is B'minah Nitzayt? Bees are trapped?
No, so I'm saying, so you see from over here, he holds bees are not called B'minah Nitzayt.
Okay, alright.
You see from the Magen Avraham that. That's what, not everybody agrees to that. But, now if you look in the Mishnah Berurah here, Sif Kain Gimel, he says, V'dvayrim.
With Gimel?
Yeah. Mashma v'seisef du b'chlal davar sheb'minah nitzayt. V'seisef is mashma that's called b'minah nitzayt.
That's Zvuvim.
No, that's the one.
No, Dvarim.
Oh, Dvarim, sorry.
It's not Dvarim, period. The Dvarim, mashma v'seisef du b'chlal davar sheb'minah nitzayt. Avos shar paiskim pligi alei. The other paiskim argue And one of them is the Magen Avram right here. The Magen Avram, he holds that the Vayrim is also a b'minon inside. So ask the Magen Avram, Avagav Torah Kotzav b'kiveres Ktana. The Aser. So here is the Yesh Makilim. Some people are makel. You're allowed to close a box, even a small box. Before we said a big box, everyone's makel. Even a small box you're allowed to close if there's zvuvim inside. You see by kiveres, by a small one, everyone agrees it's aser. Svilei avu bezvu svilei deshari shebol litleim yivrechu kenir li ladas v'ma v'abach pasak lachim v'chenecher. What does that mean? Zvuvim, he says, you're going to open up the box, they're going to fly away, you're not going to have to get them. But
They are
bees,
not catched with
divided by bees, when you open up the box, you'll be able to catch them. So that's why bees are more chomer than flies. So even the makilim over here, the Torah is making by flies, because flies, when they're in the box, you open the box, they're going to fly away, you can't get them. Masha Ein Kain, bees, you could get them. Now, why are bees different than flies?
So it's a hive, it's where they stay.
If they open it up, they're going to fly away.
Once you down to the size, it's
No, because their food is inside, and they are most liable to be there.
So if you look at the Mishnah over here, look at the Mishnah over here, see what he says. In Tez Zayin, V'yesh Ma'kilin. Hudas Hatur, the Svidalei, the Afagaf, the Vishas, Isa Lahedya, Gabi Kiveres, the Voirim, the Mechasa, Oisei, V'oifin, She'ein Boi Nekev, Osam Misham Psik Reisha, Uchid Lekamon, V'kamokaim, Zvuvim Shani, the Lemikri Tzei the Klal. Zvuvim flies are not called Tzei the Bechlal, the Leroiv Kaplusa, Motsui, Shekeshepasech Hakli, Boichen Hakol Misham. They all fly away and they can't get them. Masha Ein Kain, Kiveres the Voirim, Shemelayim Ahem, by Kiveres the Voirim with a full of bees, for him Gedolim Ktsach, a little bit bigger, E Efsher Shalayitfais, Echad Mehem, Holachein, Choshev, Tzedal Yedei Zeh. And therefore by bees, it's called Tzedal. That is the chilik that it gives, that Taz brings down this chilik. Now what does that mean? You have a flies in a box, you open the box, they're all going to fly away, you can't get any of them.
So it's no tzeder.
No tzeder. By bees in the kiveres, they're a little bit bigger, and it's full of flies. You open the box, you'll definitely be able to catch one of the bees. Therefore it's called tzeder. That's a chilik. Now you think about it, what does that mean? So I have a box, I close it on 100 bees. I open it up.
Well, on a hive, not a bees.
Hive, a beehive, where there's a bunch of
But
bees.
if you have bees in a garbage bin, it'll be the same as flies.
Yeah, if you have bees in the garbage, you can also open up and you can't get any of them. Is that enough? Right? What's he saying here? He's saying here basically is big chiddush in Seder, in every Hilchos Shabbos. What's happening here? I am closing a box on top of flies. I'm going to open it up, they're all going to escape, I can't get any of them. I close the box with a bunch of bees, I open it up, I'll be able to catch at least one. At least one I'll be able to catch, and therefore it's usher. Well, why is it usher? Which bee exactly am I capturing? You close the box, there's 100 bees inside. You can't point out which bee you just captured, because you open up the box, 95 are going to get away, and 5 maybe you'll catch. So I'm chayiv seder on those 5 that I'm going to catch later on.
You might be able to catch.
That I might be able to catch. I don't know which one I'm catching. You can't say any specific bee that bee was caught. Could you?
The truth is, when you're capturing bee or a bee hive, you're looking for the queen bee. You're actually looking for a specific one, because that's how you attack the hive.
Right.
So you will catch that one.
The queen bee will catch?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different story. A different story. But is that what the Taz, the way Taz learns over here is? A very interesting story.
They don't leave. The queen bees.
That if it's flies, if you have a box with 100 flies, a bunch of flies, and you open it up, you'll be able to for sure catch 1 or 2 of them, then it's awesome. That's a Taz skill. If you have a box with only 3 flies or 5 flies, you open up, they're all going to fly away, then it's not called a psikration, it's mutter. So it's interesting halacha here. I close the box, there's 100 bees inside, I open it up, I can only catch 4 or 5 of them. I'm chayiv tzeder on those 4 or 5, not when I catch them,
Before.
when I close the box. Of course, you open it up and catch them, of course you're chayiv tzeder. We're talking about you're not going to open the box on Shabbos. But since if you would open the box, you'd be able to grab 4 or 5 of them, now you're chayiv tzeder. On which one am I chayiv tzeder? I don't know. On one of them I'm chayiv tzeder. That's an interesting phenomenon in Hilchos Shabbos.
So if I set a trap for a particular type of animal and I end up capturing another animal, the one that I didn't intend, I set a rabbit trap and I end up catching a squirrel.
A skunk.
For the skunk, you're patur.
I don't know, I'm not sure if you're chayiv.
You need to punish you anyway.
Even if you set up a trap, or say later on you set up a trap and nothing comes into the trap while you set it up, it comes later on, also it's patur avalosa. It's not a chiv deraisa. You're only chayiv when you set up a trap and it comes into the trap while you're setting it up. We'll see the Magen Avraham soon. So the person can use this for an interesting shaila, which is that could you say chayiv on psik reisha with a bunch of actions together? For example, someone's walking on the grass. Now, at every step that you go, you're not going to pull out grass with your shoe. What are you worried about? You know now I'm going to walk from point A to point B. And from walking from point A to point B, it's impossible, it'll never happen that I won't pull out a blade of grass. It won't happen. Every step, lav dafka. I can take a step without pulling out grass. But walking from point A to point B, automatically at some point, I'm going to pull out a piece of grass. Is that also or not? Is that called a psik reisha or not?
It's definitely a psik reisha.
You don't have a mind. It's einim eschava. Is that called a psik reisha? Because every step that I'm taking is not a psik reisha. First step is if it's sure, right? And say another thing. Someone plays with his beard on Shabbos. Now, not every time you stroke your beard, you're going to pull out of here. But if you stroke it for 5 minutes, you automatically will have pulled out of here. Is that also or not? So they say, if according to this Taz, it may become usher. Because the action that you're doing of 5 minutes, you're automatically going to pull out of here. Same thing here with the bees. I capture the bees? No. Most of them are going to get away. Maybe, for sure, at least 1 or 2 I'll catch.
And you'll get
so one being a raya from here, in that case, the achalukim could be mechalik.
I thought the Taz was saying to us that Safek psik reisha is mutter.
No, we didn't get to that yet. I didn't get Safek psik reisha.
That's not what you're discussing now?
No, that's the next step.
Why is this not?
Why is Safek psik reisha?
Why is this not a Safek psik reisha?
There's not called Safek. Here we're talking about
each action is a suffix.
No,
in other words,
that's right. But
each step doesn't determine.
But what's it called again?
Accumulative.
Accumulative. It is.
I understand, but if you break it down to every step, each step is within it.
But that's not what the Taz is saying.
Definition of saying.
But the Taz is not saying it. The suffix creation is later on, when you're not sure if there's a B in the box. We'll get to that soon.
I hear it.
Here we're talking about.
But I would have thought, based on the svara,
right,
that we're going to see.
It's not suffix creation. Why every step that I'm taking is a suffix creation? No.
Yes.
It's a vada not a psikration. Every step that I'm taking is a vada not a psikration.
Is vada
not a psikration. Every step that I'm taking, every step that you can't say in the step that I'm taking, I'm pulling out a piece of grass, a psikration. No, for sure not. For each step that I take,
right. So then
it's not a psikration. What is it? 5 steps between 5 steps together. That's a vada. So you can pull out something.
Right. So you're saying it's not even a suffix psikration.
And each one separately, no.
There's less
probability.
Than that. It's
right.
less.
But if you look at it cumulative, then it's worse.
Yeah.
You have 5 steps together, then it's a vadai. That's a vadai you pull out a piece of grass.
So in our classic example of pulling a bench across a dirt floor,
right,
is the assumption that
if you get across,
you
get all the way across. You get all the way across without making a scratch. If you know for sure that somewhere along the way you're for sure going to make a scratch, comes out from the Taz will be awesome. Comes out.
It's a psikration.
It's not a suffix.
Right. So, but if you finish after 1 inch, fine. If I want to pull 10 inches, I know for sure I'm pulling the 10 inches. And amongst the 10 inches, I definitely at some point I'm going to make a scratch. It'll come out according to his Taz, and it's awesome. Food for thought. Food for thought. You know, there's archalukim, but that's what they bring out from this Taz, that if you have cumulative actions, that between all the actions, for sure something is going to happen. That could be a vada psikration from Yasser.
Where is it inside this Taz? This is before the suffix.
Yeah. The beginning. in the beginning.
This is before.
If you look at the Veloy Dami Lidvorim, it's in like halfway through the Taz. Bekiveres. So is that right? Veloy Dami Lidvorim, Bekiveres. I'm not trying to how to describe it even where it is.
Yeah. Okay, so here it's smack
Like in the middle?
Yeah, but you have it?
Yeah.
Which line is it?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I have like
7.
yours.
7 is the wide
The light
line
dummy.
right in the middle.
1, 2, 3, 4,
The light
5,
dummy.
6, 7, 8,
7,
9, 10,
the wide
11.
lines.
1,
Light
2,
dummy
3,
Lidvorim.
4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It says Veloy Dami Lidvorim Bekiveres Lakiveres Ktanahi Hadvorim Litzodim Kivim Mizeh Lakaponim. What does it mean by that? Lakaponim Yiyun Litzodim L'chol Kiveres Ktana L'Inyan Zeh Shlayuchel Kol Hadvorim Sheyivruchu L'Iyef Shebekach Hadvorim Gedolim U'Malam HaKiveres V'Iyef Sheyitfes Echad Mehem Mashayim Miteva Shesh Bezvuvim The Efshe Sheyivruchu B'Paiskoi. And they could all run away. That's the Taz. That's what the Mishmur brings down.
You should be. He would.
Therefore, no, he's explaining the Magen Avraham brings down. Right? But this is all an explanation, and this thing the Magen Avraham brings down. After Tur Kata B'Kiveres Ketana the Asa B'Zvuvin Spil Yishari Shebal Litlam Yivruchu. What does that mean? So here we just explain with the Taz, with the Mishabur over here, who brings the Taz, the difference between Zvuvim and Dvorim is that Zvuvim, they can all get away, by Dvorim, they cannot all get away. So therefore, your collective action of catching 100 bees, 5 of them is for sure considered captured. Even though each one, you can't say I'm capturing that bee, because that bee can get away easily, but since between all of them together, they're considered that you're going to capture for sure one of them, therefore it's Asr. That's how the Taz explains the difference between the case of Dvorim and the case of Zvuvim. There's another pshat which is in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, which is also a Geshmak pshat, and he says that a difference. That means the Torah says by Zvuvim it's mutter and by Dvorim it's Asr. We're trying to figure out why. That's one pshat. Another pshat they say, which really doesn't even bring it down, I'm not sure why, is that when you catch an animal, it depends what you want to do with the animal. If you're capturing an animal and it's in its place where you want it to be and you want it to stay there, then that's called captured, even though you can't grab the animal itself. An example is a lion. You capture a lion in a cage. Do you have the lion now? Is he captured? No, you go into the cage, you just can't get him. He'll eat you up alive.
The lion has you.
Right, the lion has you. So is that called captured? So you close a box, the fly's inside. It's not called captured. Why? Because if you open the box, the fly's going to run away, you can't get it. Okay, so you put a lion into a cage, so now the lion's captured, you open the cage, you're gone.
Yeah.
Right? So why is a fly called not captured and a lion called captured? What's the difference? The difference is...
He was, to begin with, he was
who, the lion?
say the lion.
No, but why is that called captured? You put him in a box, so what? You can't get him. The flies are in a box, so you can't get them. So what? Now they're in the box, so why isn't that itself called captured? So it's much like the Shulchan Aruch Harav, it depends on what you're doing. If you're capturing the fly in the box and you want the fly for a display, let's say, so you just accomplish whatever you wanted. You need the flies for a display, they're in the box, you're going to leave them there, and now you have what you want. That's called seder. It's a finished product. If you capture bees in a box and you want them to make honey, so it's a finished product. The bees in the box are done. That's all you need. Lion in a cage, that's what you wanted. You want the lion in the cage, you want it for display, whatever it is, so it's considered captured. But again, a fly in a box, you have nothing to do with a fly in a box. What are you going to do with it? It's not called captured because you want the fly in your hands. Therefore, it says the Shulchan Aruch Harav, there's a difference between a fly and bees. Bees in a box, it's a finished product. You have what you want from them. A fly in a box, you don't have what you want. That's his chiluk in the Magen Avraham.
So it comes out according to the Taz, you cannot walk on grass on Shabbos.
Coming according to the Taz, walking on grass on Shabbos, where you're vaday going to pull something out as you're walking.
We've determined that that's going to happen. It's just a matter of
It's a psik ratio. It's a psik ratio.
It's going to be a cumulative psik ratio.
Correct.
So
Correct. Now the question is, if it's the Raisa of the Rabbanon, psik ratio de Lichtenstien, then you have
Coolers.
you have coolers. Then you have coolers.
All these boxes that we're talking about, they're just plain boxes. But what if the box has some kind of bait in it, or some kind of poison in it, or...
It happens you want to kill it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they will say later on, you're not capturing because you want to capture it. You're capturing because you want to take it away from you.
Yeah.
So they will say later on, it's also awesome.
Yeah, we said,
Yeah, it's also awesome. We'll see if there's other alternative. If it's bothering you, maybe you have to...
But in that case, you open this cooler that we have, you open up the box, so flies will all fly out.
Right.
In this case, maybe none of them will fly out, because inside...
Right, because they're correct. It's worse. It's not worse.
Yeah.
Would you be allowed to put a...
Same thing with the lion, right? What's that?
It's said about people. They haven't to speak about it. If you ever put a person in prison, you're not lucky kid in the room on Shabbos.
Okay. This is not on tape.
Because on paper, you're lucky kid in the room. That's said or not.
As soon as you open the door, he's out, right?
You can't catch him in what grab.
So we said before that a turtle, right, does not say that it's very needs environment. So it depends on the type of person is. There is a person who can run, and it shouldn't be tzeder. There's a child that you can't have to chase him around the table to get him. No, but they speak about tzeder about them. They say there's no tzeder by a person. There's no tzeder. You don't capture a person.
Even when you are capturing a person.
Yeah, that's not capturing him.
You put a person in jail.
Yeah, put a person in jail.
I mean, you can't capture a person and kidnap a person, you just capture.
Yeah, but it's not called tzeder. There's no tzeder of a person. Pasha is not tzeder on Bnei Adam. The question is, the big question is like having a kid in a room on Shabbos. Put a kid in a playpen on Shabbos. A little kid.
Yeah.
Right? In a crib. That's called tzeder, it's not called tzeder. We'll see later on in the Siman that if they're Mekabel Morris, right, if you have a domesticated animal, it's not tzeder b'chlal. So I guess it depends on your kid.
Remember there was a side of a kosher switch that came up. I wonder if this is the principle.
There's no shayla about a kosher switch. No, sorry.
I know, but the.
I don't know why. What's it sad that was happening?
Shlomo, I think this is what he's using here.
Because it's traded upon.
No, it's the Taz. In other words, the idea is that each time the thing goes out, they made it in such a way that it wouldn't be 100% of psik ratio. But you know that if you did it for 20 seconds, right, then after 20 seconds, one time it will hit. So this is exactly the idea. Each one itself, the psik
wouldn't make it go out.
They designed it in such a way that it wouldn't be a psik ratio.
But since you're doing it 5 times together,
within 20 seconds, guaranteed the light will go on. If you turn on the switch, right, nothing happens. But within 20 seconds, it shoots 1,000 times, whatever it is, it finally will hit. So you're setting off this idea, and I'm wondering if this idea...
It's not called self-psik ratio. It's called, in this case,
this is closer to this.
Yeah. It's a psik ratio with a cumulative actions.
Correct. It would be cumulative.
Right.
And Rosh Shlomo wrote that that would be Aser.
Maybe because it is.
He Asered it.
Maybe because it is. What's else? Grama?
It's not a grama. Well, the way it was, you push the button, and now there's a psik ratio in that it shoots out the LED laser, whatever it is going to be, and then within 20 seconds, it randomly will so many times, but it will finally hit that the light will go on. You're sure the light will go on.
Right.
But each one is a psik ratio that doesn't leave
it's self-winning, so it's a cumulative psik ratio.
And they designed it such a way that looks not psik ratio.
But according to this, it's not going to be also. Walking on grass will be more kal. Walking on grass is other than first, here it's a psik ratio than Nicholay. Here you want it. You want the light to go off or on. And you're chavin to do it even. And the grass is other than other than because it's a even if you're going to say it's a psik ratio like Nicholay, and it's kla chayat, it's not really. I don't remember exactly what the heter is, but I remember I once asked a question on mowing the lawn during the 9 days. He said, "I mow the lawn. I'll do a nice dish." He puts in. So I remember his answer to me was, "Who says you can't mow your lawn on Shabbos? Why are you asking the 9 days?" I said, "Shabbos." So he says, "What's this of mowing the lawn on Shabbos?" We're cutting the grass. He says, "You don't need the grass that you're cutting. Right? When you're cutting grass, what are you doing? The Issa Kaitzer is what? The Issa Kaitzer is you want what you're taking out. Right? If you don't want what you're taking out, it's not Issa Kaitzer. So maybe it's a psikration. It's a psikration.
It's going to be like a Darabanan.
What's this Darabanan?
When you tear a piece of paper, right? If you want to tear it because you're minded, you want to do that.
If you tear it for no reason, who does it miss a Darabanan? A kalkal for no reason.
But I thought we said Korea has a.
Yeah, but Korea you need a manas litzvar.
Yeah.
Or that you have something from the kriya. Let's say you want to calm your nerves, right? Korea b'chamasai. But how about a Korea that's you're doing it for no reason? You're ripping something just to destroy it. You want to get rid of it, you want to destroy it. Is that Issa B'chlal? Maybe not. Maybe not. Right? It's a child in the fine gimel. Someone's pruning, but he doesn't need the branches. So the Issa is pruning. Is there an Issa of kaitzer also? Is there an Issa of kaitzer? It might be over on tir by pruning. There's also the fine gimel on the base. So the walking on grass, it could be a whole different heter. You don't have to worry about it if you walk on grass, even though you're pretty sure that eventually, after walking for a long time, you'll for sure pull out a piece of grass. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, weiter. So now, the Taz goes into another shaila. So this was all. This was all till now we spoke about that if you close the box and you know for sure there are flies in the box. Now you close the box, you knew for sure there are flies in the box. We said a big one, it could be makel, right? That's the Magen Avram. A small one, the Rimah brings down a machlokes, if you can makel or not. Says the Taz. How about if I'm not sure if there are any flies in the box? So he says, what do? So we pass on the chumrah. So flies in the box, you have to get rid of the flies. Says the Taz, what do? You shoo away the flies, and now if you don't see any flies, you're allowed to close the box. Maybe there's one fly left over in the box that I didn't see. Says the Taz, you don't have to go checking the box to make sure that all the flies are gone. Why not? This is the klal of the Taz, a new chiddush. They said something that's called a suffix psikration. What does suffix psikration mean? Psikration means that when I'm doing action A, I'm schlepping the chair, B is for sure going to happen. I don't have a mind to do it. I don't mean to make a charitz on the ground. I don't mean to make a scratch on the floor. But it's for sure going to happen, that's a psikration. If it's not for sure going to happen, I'm schlepping a bench, it's not for sure going to make a charitz on the ground, the halacha is it's einim eschaven and it's mutter. If you hold like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon. Einim eschaven is mutter. But if it's a psikration, it's also. Says the Taz here, you have the same thing.
So by the bench, if it's not, you're not sure it's heavy enough.
Yeah, sure.
So that's not considered a suffix psikration. That's just.
No, I didn't say that. You say you're not sure if it's heavy enough. That means you're missing a piece of information. I'm saying it's not heavy enough, and it's possible sometimes that you know exactly all the information.
So what are you missing in terms?
It depends. Sometimes it makes a chrit, sometimes not.
I was understanding.
It depends how you schlep it.
So it's not the weight of, you're not sure.
No, not saying you're not sure if this bench is capable of making a charitz. No, that will be a Taz's case.
So then the case.
That's a Taz's case. Yeah.
So what?
We'll see. We'll see a second.
I don't understand the case then. The simple case of the Gemara of Shimon. Right?
You're schlepping a bench, not dafka make a charitz.
How do you know? So either
no, you know it's not heavy enough to for sure going to make a charitz. You know it's not heavy bench to sure going to make a charitz. I always give an example.
But what is it totally? It's totally on the weight.
No, you don't know exactly. I always give an example. You have you pull paper out of the what's called, you dry your hands, the papers out of dispensers, right? The paper towels.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times it rips. Right? Now, that's suffix. And you don't have a mind to rip it. Besides that, the ripping is not a problem, but let's say the ripping will be a problem. Why would it be mutter? Because you're not mechavan to rip it. It happens. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. What does it depend on? I don't know. You know exactly why it depends on why some rip, some don't rip. That's called Einim Eschaven. It's not Psikresha. Same thing as schlepping a bench. Sometimes it makes a charitz, sometimes not. But if the paper towel, you don't know, maybe the paper towel is stuck in a way so strong that it's sure going to rip when you pull it out. It's impossible to pull it out without ripping. That will be a suffix situation. But the case of a charitz is just schlepping a bench, and the same ma'aser that I'm doing sometimes will make a charitz and sometimes won't make a charitz. The same exact act that I'm doing. That's called not a psikresha. That's Einim Eschaven, not a psikresha.
So it's kind of a question of probability, right? Like you're saying,
right.
Could be, could not be.
Yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes
not. On the
not.
other hand, you could say the probability is 0 if I don't use the dispenser at all, or if I don't slap the bench at all. Like
yeah, but it's still mutter. No, but it's still mutter. Einim Eschaven. I don't mean to make the charetz. That's a Yehuda Shita. Einim Eschaven is Rav Shimon Shita. Rav Shimon Shita. Einim Eschaven. Yehuda holds it also. Schav. Einim Eschaven is mutter. Right? So we spoke about this once. Why Einim Eschaven is mutter? Because it's not considered my action. My action is A. B may happen or not, so it's not called that I'm doing it. If it's a suffix, if it's going to happen, if Shimon holds, it's not called my action. My action is what's for sure going to happen. What's not going to happen is not considered my action. So that's Einim Eschaven. Psikresha means it's for sure going to happen. Now how about if I don't know? I don't know if this bench is so heavy that the shore going to make a charitz or not. Now the truth is, I'm missing a piece of information, and this bench will for sure make a charitz. And I want to go schlep the bench on Shabbos now. Is that called psikresha or not? Says the Taz, when you close the box, you're not sure if there are any flies in the box. Says the Taz, that's called the Einim Eschaven. It's not called psikresha. Because maybe there are no flies in the box. If there's no flies in the box, he's not doing the tzeder. He calls it a suffix psikresha, and therefore he said it's not called a psikresha. That's what the Taz says.
So it's not like the case of the bench.
What do you mean? Which case of the bench?
The first one.
Correct. It's not like the case of the bench. The case of the bench is
now it's like the second case,
right?
Where you're not sure of the weight of the
weight of the bench, right? You're missing a piece of information.
And that's called suffix.
That's what the Taz called a suffix psikresha. And Taz says, therefore, it's not psikresha because I'm closing the box. I'm not sure. So if you look at the Taz, if you want, I'm going to read the Bialacha.
There's a difference between a suffix psikresha and the first case of the bench, which is
Vadenana psikresha.
And you're going to say that's mutter. So the first case you can drag it. You can drag it if you hold like a Shimon. So either way you can still drag it.
According to the Taz. According to the Taz, either way you can drag it.
Come out that there's a difference.
Right. According to the Taz, the suffix psikresha also is mutter. It's Einim Eschaven. It's regular Einim Eschaven. Suffix psikresha is just like not a Vadenana psikresha.
So what does it get us? How does it help us?
According to the Taz, it's mutter to close the box, even though you're not sure if there are flies inside. Yeah. You don't have to go ahead and make sure there are no flies in the box before you close it.
Because it's a suffix.
It's a suffix. You shoot away the flies, and now you're not sure if there's still a fly left in the box or not. According to the Taz, it's mutter to go ahead and close the box.
So this is a kula that can be
better not to
have a lot of application. Like you can almost say everything is a suffix.
Suffix psikresha, correct. Suffix
psikresha. If you need that box closed, better not to check.
According to Taz, don't check. Right.
If you see a fly, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you see a fly, you're in trouble. You can't close it.
Yeah.
But if you don't see a fly, according to the Taz, suffix psikresha.
So you close the box without looking. So
yeah. That's what come out according to the Taz. We see the Bialacha doesn't like it. If you look in the, if you can see the Taz is a little harder to understand. If you look in the Bialacha, he brings the Taz and he explains it very nicely. It says, Hine, Hataz Chidush Kan Dover Chodosh, Be'inyam Psikresha. For who? To Chashem Dehecha de Mesap Galon, Im Yasa Isser Eloi, the same way, if you have a suffix, if the Isser will be done or not, for example, you're slapping a bench, and Lav Dafka is going to make a charitz, Amrina Dovish Einim Eschaven Mutter Leb Shimon, Gegoyim Begrevis Mita Kitzav Safsel, the suffix who, im yasser charitz ayidei agreda, k'moy kein hu hadin heicha de mesapkelot im yesh iser ba'maiser she'oisa. If I have a suffix for what I'm doing, there's an iser on what I'm doing or not. V'hu einem mischaven la'isser. You don't want the iser to happen. Nami mutter l'Reb Shimon. It's also mutter according to Reb Shimon. Olchein mutter b'neilas hateva. You're allowed to close the box. The shema ein ba atos vuvim. Maybe right now there are no flies. That's how the Taz says it's called a suffix psikresha, which is not a psikresha. Says the Bialachi doesn't like it. The lulei dvorav asvar lehepach. So not for the Taz, I would say it's the opposite. The ima iser yaser bevada idea ma'isa. If the Issa for sure what happened, but you happen not to know if the fly is in there, the closing of the box, so now what do you have here? I'm closing the box, I'm not sure there's a fly inside, I'm not mechaven to do tzeder, I don't have a mind to do tzeder, it's ain't a miskaven, but I'm not sure if there's a fly inside. Says the Taz, it's not a psikresha. Says the Bi'alach, what do you mean? If there's a fly inside, it's a vadai that you're doing tzeder. So you not sure, huh?
It's not a species that's normally trapped.
Yeah, it's a derabana. Fine. It's a derabana.
It's not Seif the rice anymore now. Seif the Rama.
Oh, we'll see in a second.
Okay.
He says later on.
I swear why he says...
Safi deraisa?
Well, he says deraisa here.
Yeah. He says later on that in this case it'll be Safi derabana anyway. But he's talking about the klal. The klal of closing the box, and let's say there's something inside that's the b'mina nitzayt. So he says, what's my shayla now if something's inside? So regular Safi deraisa. How about Tzveika deraisa? The sham begreda by schlepping the bench, shani, the mesap galon al davar achar, hainu acharitz, hanisavev, ayidei pu'ulasa, you're not sure about the charitz, ulchein mutter, davar she'enim eschaven, the efshe shalayasa acharitz, ma she'ein kein binyanenu, the safaku al etzaman ilam yesh b'zeh ma'ashat seder, haver kishar Tzveika deraisa. It's like a regular Safek deraisa, and it is Aser.
Like if a deer ran into your house and you're not sure if it ran out of your house,
correct,
then it would be Aser.
Close the door.
This to close the door.
Correct. Perfect example. A deer runs into your house, you're not sure if it left. And you want to close the door. If you close the door, you're doing Tzeder. And you're Mascham for Tzeder, because you don't care, it's the Mascham. But the Psikresha, it's sure going to happen, the Safek deraisa. So the Mishnah Berurah doesn't like, the Bi'alach does not like the Taz's chiluk. He says if you're not sure, if you're missing a piece of information, it's not called Einim Eschaven, it's called a Psikresha. So if you look now at the Mishnah Berurah over here, going back to Sifkot and Zayin, yeah, we saw the beginning, go towards the end, it says V'abach, Pasach L'Hachmer, V'ayim B'taz. You see like 3 lines from the end of Sifkot Tazayin. V'ayim b'taz shechriya. The bekivim shechriya chazvuvim. Since you shoot away all the flies, sherah b'einav that you saw with your own eyes. Su ein tzarech la'ayin. You don't have to check with a daktik ula yesham oid. Ezes vuvim. Maybe there's still some more flies. Kivin the zelehavel a suffix p'segresha. V'milsa d'rabanan. D'hudavar she'ein. B'mina nitzayt ein hachmer chalkach. So the Mishnah Berurah brings up, says at the end, he doesn't want to use the Taz's Svara for Din Daraisa. In our case, where it's Ein B'mina Nitzayt, therefore he'll say, by Safek D'Rabbanan, you can be making. So he does say it's still a Safek. He's masking that it's called a Safek. And it's not called a Psikresha that you're for sure doing it. So he's really masking to the Taz's Svara in the Psikresha part. Meaning, if you would argue in the Taz's Svara, you wouldn't hold the Taz's Svara at all. You hold, what do you mean, you're missing a piece of information? So what? It's a vada. There's something inside, you're trapping it. It's a psikresha. You ate a mischaven, it's a psikresha. So why is it called a suffix? So he's really maskim to the Taz's Svara. So we can't call this a vada. You can't call it a psikresha, it's a ate a mischaven, which is a psikresha. No. He's maskim, you don't have to call it a psikresha. But it's a suffix. But Safek D'Rabbanan will be Mekel. So that's how the Mishnah Berurah comes out. The Safek D'Rabbanan will be Mekel in this case.
The svara is okay even by D'oraisa, but since D'oraisa is more machmer,
Safek D'oraisa, right, they don't use it for Safek D'oraisa.
Even though it's a good svara, but
correct.
I don't want to use it for
Safek D'oraisa, correct.
You could say that though, because he rejects the svara. I think it's the other way around. He rejects the svara, but he accepts the kula in a drabana.
Yeah, okay, you can look at it that way.
Right? Yeah, because he goes...
He doesn't reject the svara.
He argues on the svara. He says, how can you tell me...
No, but he doesn't say it's a psikration. He argues on the svara that it's a Safek D'oraisa. He doesn't say, wait a minute, it's a psikration. He doesn't argue on that point. He doesn't say it is a psikration.
The two cases are unlike, right?
Which two cases?
He says,
yeah, because he says
the was not a good
because the Safek D'oraisa. He doesn't say now you call the psikration for sure capturing. Psikration by the Rabbanan is awesome.
So let me ask a different question. Does the concept of Safek psikration exist amongst the poskim anywhere else besides this discussion? Do we have such a thing? Like, does anybody else hold of this?
Yeah, by Shabbos. Yeah, the question is the whole question we're looking about Sabacholov. If you can have
that case with the
we had a whole question. Right.
You turn on the guy's pot.
Yeah.
You turn on the guy's pot. And you're not sure.
It's usher.
And you're not sure if there's basar b'chalav inside or not. So the question is that usher or not? So there the Chavis says it's usher because you're not sure. Still it's usher. Says according to the Taz, it'll be mutter. It'll be mutter. Why is it mutter? Because it's not psikration.
It's a Safek psikration.
Safek psikration. Safek psikration. Some of that kind of argument.
So anytime you have a Safek in whether you don't know.
So it's not a psikration. Therefore, he's masking to the svara that it's not called a psikration. He's not masking that it's not Safek D'oraisa. I have a different problem. You're right, it's not a psikration. You want to say, I'm not mechaven to do act B, I'm not mechaven to do tzeder, but it means a psikration, you're for sure doing tzeder. No, we don't call it a psikration.
So the Mishnah Berurah would say, in that case in Yeridea, that it would also be Asr because it's a D'oraisa.
No, it's D'Rabbanan also.
Basar b'chalav?
Yeah, Bli is a Basar b'chalav, D'Rabbanan.
Oh,
Bishla, Bli is Bishla, Bli is not that Bishla, Kachta, D'Rabbanan.
Okay, so that makes it more difficult. So then why does the Mechaber now paskin
over there?
Yeah.
He doesn't go with the Taz. He's not going with the Taz. He's not going with the Taz.
I'm having a headache.
But you can't say that the reason why the Mishnah Berurah is makel over here is because the Safek D'Rabbanan. Safek D'Rabbanan, you're makel over here? No, we're not going to makel on Safek D'Rabbanan. But makel because it's a Safek psikration by D'Rabbanan. So it's not called a psikration, right, and you go back to the heter of Ein Mischaven.
Right, so if you have Safek psikration and you're dealing with the D'Rabbanan, you could be makel.
Yeah. So it comes out. Okay, we have to see Sif Dalet. I said maybe on Sif Hey, I said Vada and Sif Dalet. That wasn't a Safek, that was a Vada psikration.
We already knew that this wasn't going to happen.
Sif Dalet. Person Machzelas Hagami Akiveres. You're allowed to put a mat on top of a kiveres, which is the beehive, of a bat shelo yichav alatzit. You shouldn't have a mind to capture. V'gampu be'inan be'inyan she'enei mukhrech sheyiu nitzaydim. It's not for sure that it's going to be captured. Why? Because it'll have a psikration. It shouldn't be a psikration, because if it's vada going to be captured, then it's a psikration. You have to leave it in a way there's room for the bees still to escape. But if they can't escape, then it's a vadai, they capture it, it's a psikration, it's awesome. Says the Magen Avram psikration, but after got the dvayrim, ain't b'mina nitzayid. First Magen Avram here, the bees are not b'mina nitzayid. K'nisu b'beya, v'chein kasev l'shah bach b'imkein, leka iser d'araisa, a full haki also mishum psikration. It's still awesome because of psikration. I am ashak satan siman shin yadalit siv aleph. Meaning, this is the Magen Avram that holds that a psikration by the Rabbanan is awesome. That's what it means to say over here. Right? This is the cloud. We'll have it a few times in the Magen Avram. He holds psikration by the Rabbanan is awesome. Ve'im yeshchur katan ach einei nira. There's a small hole. Sharit will have a psikration. Even though lav dafka the bees are going to find it, still it's mutter. Because they could find it. Once they could find it, they could find the hole if they want, that it's not for sure nitzoid.
Even though that you know scientifically they never find it.
If you know they never find it, it's something else. I'm not sure what the level is. But if it's hard for them to find it, it's not a secretion.
This gets into the bee traps
on this principle that there's certain ways you can make them that the bees never find their way out. They're trapped, but there's holes.
Yeah, but so I think therefore it's mutter on Yom Tov to put them out, to make it to be matter. No. But why is there holes for them to get out? What's the reason why?
They fly out.
Oh, they have to get in, so they can't get right. But they can't get out of that hole.
Yeah.
So they can't get out of that hole. So it's called seder.
If you said it before the Yom Tov.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. For Yom Tov, it's fine. Yeah, on Yom Tov is a problem.
No, you have to do it before Yom
So ha'payrish mitzuda. If someone spreads out a trap, ubeshas pirishasai nichnes chayil l'teicha, while he's setting up the trap, an animal runs into it, chayiv. It's a deraisa. Aval nichnes achakach l'teicha pater aval aser. If you set up the trap, and then later on an animal runs into it, pater aval aser. Why? Says the Magen Avram, she'eina yedeya em yitzedem lav. Because you don't know for sure. It's a matter for the Magen Avram. If you're going to set up a trap, and you know for sure the animal is going to come into it and get caught, but not right now, maybe 10 minutes later, it's a matter for the Magen Avram, it's still called seder. Still could be considered chayiv. The whole head here is because you're not sure if the animal is going to end up coming there and get trapped into it. So it's not the delay that's saying it's a deraisa. It's the reason is because you're not sure what's going to happen. But nearly the high time also the Hamid B'Shabbos HaMesuda Lotzot Boy Achborim. You're not allowed to put up a Mesuda to capture mice because they're going to come in on Shabbos.
But before Shabbos?
Yeah, before Shabbos you can do whatever you want. Before Shabbos you can set up whatever traps you want. On Shabbos already it's a problem, you can't put it out.
So those bee traps in which they come in and out, they have a chor, they can come out. Would you be able to put it on Yom Tov or Sukkot?
They could get out, they can't get out.
They go in, there's a hole. There is, in other words, it's not a...
So the question is what the Magen Avram means over here. Literally the high timer. Also the Hamid B'Shabbos HaMesuda Lotzot Boy Achborim. If you hold Achborim Shloi B'Mina Nitzayit, you have a double D'Rabbanan over here. You're setting up a trap, which is only to D'Rabbanan, because it's not sure they're going to come in or not, and it's Ein B'Mina Nitzayit, so you have again Trei D'Rabbanan. So it could be it's mutter. The Magen Avram says Achborim is also. The person speaking out over here because Achborim is B'Mina Nitzayit. But something that's not B'Mina Nitzayit, something you usually don't catch, is only to D'Rabbanan.
But bees are.
Bees are not. It says Goyim is Ein B'Mina Nitzayit. That's the beginning of the Magen Avram. What, bees?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Magen Avram, Mr. Brewer brings down that the Messiah of his Mashal is B'Mina Nitzayit. It says most of the places are sharp places completely. The whole Goyim is not B'Mina Nitzayit.
So we're just going there and
we're going to Goyim and not Ein B'Mina Nitzayit. So you want to put up a trap to catch bees. It could be it's mutter. Could be it's mutter to put it out on Yom Tov because it's Ein B'Mina Nitzayit. Any idea if it's going to happen or not. The Magen Avram only asks the Achborim. So it could be it's mutter, but it's even more beheter. If the bees are bothering you, they're not letting you sit in your sukkah, there's even more beheter. See, then it may even be a tzad, you're allowed to capture them ahead on Yom Tov. See later on in the Siman. Definitely to put up a bee trap on Yom Tov outside your sukkah, it's definitely mutter.
On Yom Tov.
Even on Yom Tov.
So because of Trei D'Rabbanan and...
Yeah, it can be Mokum Tzar.
So you need something else. You need Trei D'Rabbanan plus something else. Before we said Trei D'Rabbanan and not Sikresha.
Right. So Trei D'Rabbanan by itself wouldn't be enough.
This would also be Trei D'Rabbanan with a Sikresha.
Correct. It's bothering you. Trei D'Rabbanan and it's bothering you. No, you don't do a Sikresha. You say you want to capture that.
I'm saying before we said Trei D'Rabbanan plus it was a Sikresha.
Right.
But
L'Nichale. Right. Here it's a Trei D'Rabbanan. And it's
you don't want the bees though. You just want them to be.
You want to capture them, but you want to capture the bee. That's another cooler, right? But that's another cooler. That's another cooler. Because you're not capturing them because you want them.
Yeah.
You capture them, take away the hezek from you, and we'll see later on that someone's going to capture something to take the hezek away from you is also awesome. We don't say it's not called seder b'chlal. It's still awesome. Here we're going to be makel because it's a trade rabbanon, even min on its side. You're setting it up, you're not really capturing it yourself, and you're not capturing because you want it. You're capturing to take away the hezek. It's definitely mutter to set it up on Yom Tov.
I think it was just for poison.
Seems
to take away the...
Why